Come to the floor today, Mr. Speaker, at a time of great moment in the life of this country. The American people are hurting. We are facing in this country the worst recession in a quarter century. We've lost 2 million jobs since this Congress and this administration enacted a stimulus bill. The unemployment rate at the time that we passed the stimulus bill was 7.5%. We were told that we had to spend that nearly $800 billion borrowed from future generations of Americans so that the unemployment rate wouldn't go over 8%. It's now 9.5% and rising. We saw this Democratic majority pass a budget that'll double the national debt in 5 years and triple it in 10, and that's if the economy starts to grow again, which sadly few economists believe it will in the near future. Now this summer we saw this majority, in the name of global warming, pass a national energy tax that'll essentially raise the cost of energy for businesses and individuals by thousands of dollars per year. And now comes health care reform, a government takeover of health care in this country, financed with nearly $1 trillion in tax increases. Yet my colleagues, many of whom I deeply respect, come to the floor this week to talk about something called PAYGO, fiscal discipline. Well, the truth is that in this majority, in this administration, PAYGO means you pay and they go on spending. The truth is we've got to come to terms with these difficult times. We've got to begin to demonstrate the priorities that businesses and family farms and working families are demonstrating at this time of national challenge and economic recession. Families and businesses are sitting down and prioritizing what should come first. We ought to have national energy legislation to set us on a pathway toward energy independence. We ought to have health care reform that brings real competition into our economy and lowers the cost for consumers. But the first thing we ought to be doing is coming together and creating jobs. And we know how to create jobs. John F. Kennedy knew it. Ronald Reagan knew it. George W. Bush knew it when the towers fell. Fiscal discipline in Washington, D.C., and tax relief for working families, small businesses, and family farms. The last thing we need right now is one more massive tax increase, one more government takeover of one more American industry. What we need is focus, and we need to prioritize what this Congress is working on. We ought to be asking what the American people are asking today with a heavy heart as they look at Washington, D.C. Where are the jobs? Health care, energy independence, other priorities, other talking points on Capitol Hill are not going to get the American people back to work. Congress should come together, men and women of goodwill and strong principle, and work in such a way that can restore this economy, and then work in a bipartisan way on the other major issues facing our country. So help us God. I yield back.